Am I back? Am I back? Oh, Sani-chan! Am I back? Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome back everyone! Today is a new stream. Also, welcome in, Reina. Welcome. How are you? How is your day? I don't know if you're here, but my stream restarted. My bitrate just suddenly dropped. I don't know what happened. Oh my god. I am here. I am here and I'm alive. Welcome in everyone to this brand new stream. Oh, hello mom. Oh, she's fighting the ape? Yeah, I'm fighting the ape. This synergy was too strong, guys. God, the ape is actually kicking my ass. But it's okay. Have you beaten his first level yet? I have! Yeah. The first phase? Yeah. One time only once. Yep. It's okay. It's going good. It's okay, it's good. We're gonna try this again. I'm gonna pretend like nothing happened. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh shit! Oh! Kishin. Oh, he got me. I didn't know to run. Okay. Wait, this is good, this is good! Okay! Good! Actually good! Actually good! Actually good! Okay! Actually good here. Okay, okay. Phase 2, phase 2. Phase 2, phase 2. Ow! Oops, my bad. Get away from him. How do you know when he's gonna scream or not? Oh, okay, Okay. Got it, I got it. Pay attention to it. He moved his head. Okay. I got it. Oh, welcome in, Sam. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that the stream just started. My stream crashed earlier. I mean, technically, it kind of just started. Okay. Got it, got it. You can get a head start running away, or you can use pacifying agents. Ah! Should I though? I don't know. I have 5, but I don't know. Should I? Only if needed? Okay. An accurate death count? It's okay, let's just, you know, it's an estimate, guys. It's an estimate. I'll probably miss like 1 or 2. At most, okay? At most. Okay. What? We're gonna... Did she beat Butterfly though? I did! Okay. I beat Butterfly. I beat Snake Eyes. I beat, Long Arms. What is it? Long Arms Giraffe guy. And now I'm here. Oh, okay. Oh shit! Oh! No one! Okay. Oh god! Oh, like it. Okay. I get my ass beat. Okay. Okay. Oh shit! Oops. I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh my god. I know she beat Gun Lady since she's here. Oh yeah, I beat Butterfly Lady before I beat the Gun Lady. He was the long arm guy. Yeah, he was okay. It was a little easier. Shen, after you get this fight the snake? The snake! Oh my god. Why do I feel like that when you finally kill the monkey, you would crash? It's a sign. It's a sign. My own stream is sabotaging me. I do have to say, your energy is something else. I like it. Thank you, thank you. You know why? Cause I got the shenobi in me. You know? Okay, the 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 4. Oh my god. Okay. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Thank you, thank you.
Meow. Meow.
Meow. Yeah, long arm guy is very easy, boss. Yeah. I think the only thing I was struggling with that was timing the parries. I gotta stop getting hit. Oh god. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. He's throwing a tantrum. Okay. Okay. Oh my god! He's farting at me. Don't poop at me, please. Okay. Oh my god. This is a bad round. Okay, just kill me already! God. Oh my god! Did not register! Oh my god. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. That was just a warm-up, guys. You know, 13 minutes into the stream, it was just a warm-up. Yeah, let's just ignore the poison status. It's okay. I know I saw it, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. Thank you for the bonk. Thank you. Okay. This is it. This is it. This is it. Okay. He grabbed me immediately. He didn't do that last time. What? I don't know if it's just me, but doesn't the aim like low-key reminds me of like Kratos? God of War? Is it just me? I think it's the scar on his head. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my god! Okay. Yeah, OG Kratos. Oh shit! Oh! Check it out! Kill him already! Kill him already! Kill him already! He's so low, Shen! He's so low, he's so slow. So low, Shen! He's so low! Okay. God. Are you Mau Mau? Where's Mau Mau? Meow meow. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh! Oh! Okay, okay. You know what? The anime, I've only watched like the first episode. I've only seen like the first episode and then I haven't seen anything else. I heard it's really good though. I heard it's really good. Can you take another path? Go through the embedded dungeon too? You know what? Oh shit. I'm already here, so I'm not living till I'm finished. That was like a WWE move he did on you? No, I think it is. Okay. You should watch more, it's cute and funny. I see. Okay. Oh, oh. Ow! Don't you grab me! Oops. Am I dead? Hit him, Shen! Hit him! Oh god, toot toot toot! Okay. Oh god. Oh god, okay, that was bad. Okay! good. Okay. I need you to everyone so I can bring you to the demon of hatred. No, oh no. Hurry, get up already! His grapple was always... Okay, yeah. I freaking hate his grapple. Okay. Oh god! Get up, shit! Okay. This is tough! This is actually tough! Oh my god. I don't know if I can even beat this. Okay, lucky number 7. I know, I'm greedy, okay? I'm greedy. I'm greedy for hits. Okay. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Come here. Oh, toots. Okay. Oh, oh god, god! Oh god! Oh god. Oh god, I'm not close enough. Oh my god, okay. Oh fuck! Oh! Okay, good, good. His scream will always instant kill you. Okay. Calm and steady. The main thing is that you're having fun. I'm sure you can beat him. 100%. 100%. This is it. This is it, boys and girls. Weird. Okay. That's okay. little screen thing again. Safety first. Okay. Is he not gonna do it? Oh. Oh, okay. That hurts me so much. There are also certain attacks you should parry so you can free hit him and you can figure it out on your own. Got it. Okay. You know, that's good. That was good progress. Lucky number 328. Lucky number 328. Okay. Anyways, good night, Mom. Good night. Make sure you have a. Make sure you lock your doors, lock your windows, lock your closet, cause I'm gonna work. Okay, Argo. Where am I? Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh shit! Oh! Oops. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Oh my god, he's doing that a lot. Okay. Ow! Where's it? Oh shit! Oh god! Oh god! Oh my god, Geodude! Geodude. Oh god. 329! 329. 329. Okay. Locked in. Shen locked in. Oh shit. Whoops. Ouch. Okay. lucky number 330. Okay, whoops. That was my fault. Get out, 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 get out. Oh shit, oh. Oh shit, oh what the hell? What's that combo? Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh my god! Bad. Stop touching your butt! Okay. Okay, I'm sure you would kill him before 66. You know, me too. Okay. Now get up. Now get up. Okay. Oh shit! Ah! Hydrogen! I'm a little bit scared. Oh! 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 Okay, how do I dodge that? Do I just parry that? Parry, parry, parry. That's tough. This is tough. This is really tough. Really tough. Okay. Oh my god, it's almost 3 a.m. Oh god. Okay, once it hits, I think I'll play this for like another like 10 minutes. And I'll probably end it. Once it hits the 3 a.m. mark. It's getting really late for me now. Oh my god. Time went by so fast, I didn't even notice. Why should it be 5 a.m.? No. Okay. Kratos monkey. Oh my god, I thought I jumped. Okay. Come here! Oh god! Okay. You can't let the monkey win! Okay. Heal. Shinlock. Shinlock in! Okay. Oh my god, he fought at me. Oh god. Don't grab him, please! Ow! Okay. Oh. Oh my god! Ah! Get up, get up! Oh my god! NC, NC, NC! NC, NC! Okay. Triple threes! Okay, 333. Okay, 333. Lucky number 333. They're hitting up too much. It's okay. Like 6 hours of playing this goddamn game. It's bound to happen. Oh shit. Jesus, take the button smash. Okay. Oh shit! Oh! Oh my god, I thought he was gonna grab me there. god, they're not here! Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Well, you don't want to be grabbed and smashed on the ground? I think right. Hey yo, hey yo. 334. You know, for your information, I like to get stepped on. Okay, ready? Okay, tantrum. Oof. Ow! Oops. Come on. Oof. This is the best start right here. Oh fuck! I got too close. Okay. Oh! Okay. Oh, okay. First step. Grenade for hits! Grenade for hits! Grenade for hits! Okay. Good greed, good greed. Okay, heal. Okay. I'm pumped. Okay. Now I'm just imagining a mode every time you get smashed. Hey yo, Delo, I didn't know you would like that. Sussy. Oh, okay. Back up! Sucker! Oh god. Okay, I'm panicking. Shouldn't panic. Oh, back up! Is it better to just grapple away? I don't know actually. Is that why the trees are here? I don't really know that. Oh, he's breaking another tree. Back up! Oh god! Don't hit me! Okay. I'm scared! I'm scared! Back out, Chad! Back out! Back out! Oh my god! Okay. Back out! Back out! Chad! Back out! Oh my god! I'm dead! I'm dead! Oh my god! Oh my god! Scary! 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 Oh my god! Okay, that hurts a lot. Ouch. Okay. Okay, I'm dead. Oh my god. This is too much for me. Alright. Guys! It is currently 3 a.m. It's currently 3 a.m. And I 100% need to rest. Finally giving up tonight? Yep. Yep. Where you from? I'm from NA. I'm from America. American. I'm American. California specifically. Yep. Sheno rest. Sheno rest. It's okay. You tried. Exactly. Next stream. It's gonna be. I think next stream 100%. I'm gonna try to beat this guy. Currently a bit of chaos, more than usual. Damn right, damn right. Alright. Thank you all for coming by. Huh, is there nobody I can write? Is Tia streaming tonight? I don't know, Oh, Tia is streaming. I'll rate Tia. Tia. She's playing Monster Hunter Wild? What? Oh my god. Alright. Can't start a raid? Sorry, Chaos. Sorry. Anyways, thank you for coming by. It's 3 a.m. I really need to sleep. And oh, you guys have a good night, good day, good evening. Make sure you lock your doors, lock your windows, lock your closet, because I'm gonna lurk. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. See you guys later. Thank you for coming by, Daylon. Thank you for the raid. Vento, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for dropping. Thank you for all the follows. Bye-bye, everyone. Pog. 335. Okay.